One of the hardest parts about collecting model cars is getting collectors informed, telling them what's new, telling them what's exciting, introducing them to the personalities and the people behind the hobby. And among all the people we know, few have done that better and more completely than our next person, Jeff Glasson from Diecast Audio. Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, Joe.
What's happening? What's the news with Diecast Audio? What do you have around the corner?
Well, I tell you, it's a pretty exciting time. You know, I'm a technology type of guy, but also a collector. So it's been a challenge, should we say, to try to introduce collectors to just new technology online, get the information out there in a variety of ways. I started Diecast Audio in 2001, primarily because back in my college days, I was a radio DJ. And then when I found out I was going to have a son, I had to start collecting diecast, do something that we can build up a hobby together.
Right, right.
Took the two hobbies there, married them together, got myself behind the mic and started a podcast to get people informed through audio broadcasts on the line. Of course, from a technology standpoint, it's a little more difficult to get people to understand who aren't technology oriented about what a podcast is, how they can listen to the show online and so forth. So it's been a challenge, an educational experience, but we're getting there, slowly but surely.
Now, collectors who are new to the hobby, I mean, how do we introduce them to this new technology? Has it been difficult to reach those people?
A little bit, yeah, because a lot of collectors still, maybe even have a dial-up internet connection, so streaming audio across the internet's not always that ideal in those scenarios. And then just the terminology that goes along with the word podcast, people associate that with all sorts of things like the Apple iPod. They think, oh, I don't have an iPod, I can't listen to your show. So
right.
We try to do things like add simple audio players on the site with just a big play button, hit it once, you're good to go. On top of that, we've been going around to the conventions and trying to do a little bit of seminar work with folks to introduce them to the new technology and definitely offer this open door policy of if you have a question, please just ask it because we're more than willing to help you understand this.
How can we get the hobby out of the realm it's in now? The collectors already know about it. How do we get it out into the public? How do we get the people who don't collect yet to know about this thing?
You know, it's about taking the diecast hobby to places other than online, other than diecast conventions, taking it to hot rod shows, taking it to regular toy shows.
Right.
Bringing that type of experience to the New York Toy Fair or bringing it to Comic-Con. There's some diecast presence in those places, but not to the degree that we're enthusiastic about bringing it to the people.
Now, the next big bridge we have, once we get out into the public, I mean, to show these people this hobby, where would you suggest they begin? What's the entry level for collectors?
Well, Diecast Space provides a great way to get into the hobby with the technology piece because it's a social network. Most of the diecast sites that are out there today are discussion forum based. Discussion forums have been around for a long, long time on the internet, but it's not where kids are today on the internet. Kids are growing up with MySpace and Facebook and Twitter and things, and they're not going to know what it's like to grow up without those tools. And so, obviously, the future of diecast collecting is with the kids. So as we're bringing them up into this, if all they have online to communicate with other collectors is discussion forums, they're likely less apt to want to communicate online in that fashion. So we really just have to kind of show collectors today that this is where technology online is going.
Right.
Diecast Space is in the forefront of that, being the first social network, and it's a way to really connect with people on a more personal level. So starting out with a free account on Diecast Space is a great way to start.
Now, people want to hear diecastaudio.com. Where do they go?
Diecastaudio.com is there. I do basically blog for the most part. I'm bringing some of the audio back with some short audio updates on a daily basis. And of course, we got the Saturday Nitro live broadcast every other Saturday night where we talk to personalities in the hot rod industry as well as the diecast industry. And that's a live show so people can call in, ask questions, and participate in the show.
Check that out. If you want to see and hear some really important stuff and hear about the personalities and upcoming trends, diecastaudio.com. Jeff Glasson, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
A lot.